Okay, hello everyone. I've made this video to show some of the applications that QMidiArp within its new development state is now capable of doing. And for this we will use the Ladish session handler, where you can see the studio setup here, which is called Tuto at the moment. It provides you with all the hardware ports. Audio is blue, MIDI is red, and we're using A to J here for converting the ALSA MIDI data into Jack MIDI data, which is handled by Ladish. And within the studio we'll find a room. This is a new capability of Ladish that has been implemented lately, and this provides virtual ports and gives us the possibility to place all of our music applications into a separate room that will also show these virtual ports, and on the studio side they're going to be routed to the hardware, and on the room side they're going to be routed to the audio applications. So if we go into this room, we will find the ports again. So all my MIDI equipment will be coming out here from this port, and this is the microphone so that you can hear me. And here you have a list of prepared applications. I'm using today the VMPK virtual MIDI piano keyboard just to show what is going on the keyboard, and we're going to be using Yoshimi, this Zinart sub-effects reincarnation that works very well on my system to produce sound. So we can fire up this application with a predefined set of parameters. You can see it here. Now just to play it, you'll see Ladish automatically establishes the connections. MIDI goes to Yoshimi MIDI in, and the output ports are routed back to the playback device. And so I can play a couple of notes. I will particularly play the part number 5, where I have loaded a standard sound from Yoshimi. I will just remove the effects so that you can hear it purely, and when I play this on the keyboard, it sounds like this. So it's just a simple plucked sound, but that is very percussive. Okay, so let's take the sound and see what QMidiArp can do with it. QMidiArp is an application that has been developed by Matthias Nagorny a couple of years ago, and that has undergone some changes mainly during the last year and the last 2 years, we can say. I will now start it up, and it comes up with a simple window like this, showing basically nothing. And to create an arpeggiator, we can click on the Add button here, and it will show us one tab here containing the arpeggiator window. So this window has a pattern part where we can choose how the incoming notes are transformed into an arpeggio, or we can add some effects. There is randomization. There are envelope settings, to which I will explain a little bit later. Okay, so let's choose first a pattern, which is one of the standard patterns that come with QMidiArp, and choose simple 1 here. You can see it's not looking like anything interesting. It actually contains just a 0 in the pattern field. If you click on this Edit button, you will have this text window coming up here, and in which you can place the pattern definitions, and this tooltip will explain to you what each component of the pattern will do. There are a couple of articles, one by Dave Phillips, that explains that very well, and what it does. So actually 0 means there is one note, and that will get repeated every quarter note. So if I launch the clock here, we are currently working with the internal clock, and I start this here, Actually, I want to be in trigger mode now. I will use keyboard trigger. When I touch a note, I have to switch back my MIDI channels. So when I touch a note and route it to the same MIDI channel that Yoshimi is listening on, which is channel 5, as you can see here. So channel 5. We also see that I have routed port 2 of QMidiArp to Yoshimi. So I have to adjust port 2 here. And now I play notes. Okay, I have to set the keyboard up to have channel 1 as the entry. So it's basically repeating the same note all the time. If I press another note now, it would arpeggiate this chord C minor that I'm playing here, and will go through. I can of course change the way from up to down, and this is not very funny, so I can accelerate this a little bit. I can do this all on the fly. So I will enter the key for accelerating. Now it plays eighths. Now it plays sixteenths. Now it's getting a little bit more interesting. So it's still the same pattern, it's just a 0. If I repeat the 0, then it will play each note twice before going back again through the pattern. Now, because this is a little bit complex and needs some learning, I would say, I have prepared a couple of standard patterns that you can use. See, I still hold this C minor chord, and I will change the pattern to chord. I will repeat all these numbers in parentheses, which are grouped and stacked to a chord. Or I can use more complex patterns, as this one. Now we have a chord, a note, a chord, a note, a chord, a note. So every time I play something new on the keyboard, this pattern will restart,